sports grill to home. His gray hair stood in disorderly shafts from sweating under his helmet all day, and while I hoped he had combed his hair before entering the restaurant, I knew better. Scott raised his eyebrows and flashed a mischievous grin. I was in trouble. "Aha," he said, pulling the Burpee Seeds and Plants catalog from the stack of mail under his arm. "I have intercepted that which tempts you beyond your power to resist. Now we can afford to eat this winter, and Kai can get new cleats, and I can finally get a high-performing, distortion-reducing fat lady driver with a zirconium sole plate." He had a point about the flower thing. Dahlias, irises, peonies, roses, or any other flower. My hobby had turned into an obsession and then into a business, which thrilled Scott. He liked the prospect of reversing the flow of resources back into our bank account. For every special occasion, romantic or not, he presented me with books on small business management, and once he even packed my bags to send me to a cash flow seminar in Denver. I knew he really believed in me when I came home to find a truck in the driveway with "Perennially Yours Mibby Garrett Garden Designer" painted on the door and a box of matching pea-green business cards on the driver's seat. The red bucket of daisies on the truck's cab gave the vehicle its name, the Daisy Mobile. And yet he still protested, however gently, each new flower addition that encroached his lawn. It was all a part of our marriage dance, the one that questioned and valued our differences. He claimed to be protecting the dog's right to his personal space. In response, I declared a patch of lawn the poop deck, no flowers allowed. It seemed like the fair thing to do. Usually I took Scott's ribbing about my obsession for what it was, a not too serious but could you please show some restraint plea for moderation. But that day, standing in the garden with scratches up and down my arms and cedar mulch embedded in my knees, I didn't appreciate his exaggeration at all. I jabbed the shovel blade into the ground and sighed. Scott stepped behind me, probably afraid I'd whack him with the shovel, and wrapped his arms around my waist. I pressed the shovel in deeper, tightening my stomach muscles against the warmth of his arms. "Mibby, I didn't mean it." His breath filled my ear and poured onto my cheek. He held out the catalog. "You can buy a dozen of everything in here if you want. I'm sorry." Of course, it was clear to me later that I was the one who should have apologized, but I didn't. "You should be sorry," I said, walking out of his embrace and into the house. It was time to start dinner. After I'd coaxed a simmer from the spaghetti sauce, I found Scott looking through the catalog on the porch. The light from the kitchen window boxed him in a yellow glow. Showered and combed, he looked more like the steadfast banker I'd married. He made room for me on the wicker love seat and gave me a cautious smile. "See anything you like?" I asked, crossing my arms and leaning against the railing of the porch. He held up a picture of fiery red blossoms arching along a stem. "These look like Montbretia, but they're calling them Crocosmia," I said, trying to sound indifferent. "Montbretia is its common name." "Want some?" "Maybe." I left the porch to take the last bag of clippings to the compost pile. Scott walked with me. "Montbretia prefers a milder climate," I said. "So do you, but look how well you're doing." "You'd probably be wasting your money." Since that day, I've spent many hollow hours trying to remember why I was so rough on him. Surely something else, something hurtful and consequential, had triggered my irritation and justified its endurance. Had I resented Scott for leaving me with all the gardening chores? Had he begged